Alan Solomon, who's on our board, will lead us. He's also a Marine. Will lead us in the pledges.
How are y'all doing tonight? All right, if you'll bow your heads with me, we'll go ahead and say a word to the Lord. Father God, I just thank you so much for everybody taking the time to be here tonight, Lord. And there's just so much going on in the world right now, and it just seems uncontrollable. But Lord, we know that you're in control, and Lord, we come to these meetings because we're looking for a way to plug in and all that. So I pray that you just give us wisdom and a vision about how to do that, and Lord, that you'd help us to step out and step up and be bold about what we're doing. Lord, we love you, and we chase you with everything that we do, and just pray that you would always just help us to see the way. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the text. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one indivisible.
We don't have anyone to lead the anthem, but why don't we sing it anyway? Okay, go ahead and have a seat. Do we have one I can hold of these things? Thank you. Okay, so we have a few announcements to make and a couple people that are going to be making announcements. First of all, if you have one of these in your seat and you're interested in filling it out, just fill it out and leave it in your seat, and Maggie will pick it up. This is the Ted Cruz thing. Okay, is Jolynn here? Jolynn, why don't you come on up and be ready? And Aaron, you're ready? Okay. Yeah, so while you guys are coming up, let's talk about town hall meetings. Has anybody been to a town hall meeting yet with their congressman? Oh, fantastic, great, because we invited them all to come to the Tea Party like, I don't know, 9 months ago, and all of them said, oh gosh, I can't make it. So they're not really interested in hearing from us, but they are having town halls, and there's nothing to stop us from showing up at other ones. So we are very fortunate that the Northeast Tarrant Republican Club has Kenny Marchant coming on Monday night to the Bedford Library at 6:30. This meeting actually starts at 7, but a little cookies and coffee at 6:30. So I will be emailing out, so watch for it tomorrow or later this week, specific questions that we really need to be asking our congressmen. I think you guys are probably all just as frustrated as I am, and Wade Miller, who tends to advise me on these national issues, but you know, they made a lot of promises, well, when we have the Senate, or, you know, all these different things they're going to do with Obamacare, and defunding on this and that, and they haven't done it. So we need to hold them accountable at these town halls. If you don't show up at these town halls, they get away with it, and then they know they can continue to get away with it. So we'll send out information on the Kenny Marchant Town Hall, along with questions that you can ask. And Arlington Tea Party is hosting Congressman Joe Barton, and that is on Thursday night this week at 6:30. So you can go to arlingtonteaparty.com and get details on where that's at. It's in Pantego. Okay. What else? Jolynn, you want to go next? Jolynn, you're up.
Hi everybody, I'm Jolynn Hausman and I'm a trustee on the Keller ISD School Board. I'm hoping that everybody had a chance to look at your emails this afternoon from Julie McCarty. If not, please make it a priority when you go home tonight to do that. We really need your attendance Thursday night at the Keller School Board meeting. Doesn't matter if you have children in the district, doesn't matter if you homeschool, doesn't matter what you do, where you live, anything. The more bodies we can have there opposing this policy change, the more of an opportunity we're going to have to hopefully change the mind of those that are planning to vote on this. I know that our superintendent supports it, and I know right now, absolutely, we do have at least 4 of the other trustees that are there to support it. One of them's kind of on the fence, we're not sure about. So anyway, we meet Thursday night. If you have a pencil, please get it out, or get your phone out, write this address down. It's 350 Keller Parkway, and that is in Keller. If you would like to talk at the meeting, it is first come, first serve. They're only allowing 10 people total. When you sign in, you're going to sign in under pro or con. We are con. I hope everybody is. And so that means there's only going to be about 10 people that are going to get to speak. And we already have 3 that I know that are definitely going to be there probably at lunchtime to make sure they get on the list. So if anybody else has anything to say, please be sure to be there by 5:30 anyway. We do gavel in at 5:50, but the meeting actually starts at 6:30 after our executive session. Thank you so much. All your prayers appreciated. And I do want to take this opportunity to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I can't thank you enough for the support, the prayers, the encouragement I've had over the last year. I had a rough and tough start, learned the hard way a few things, but I tell you what, God has given me a lot of strength, a lot of fighting power, and we're just getting started. I'm having a town hall meeting myself at Spring Creek Barbecue on August 24th at 7 o'clock there in Keller on Main Street. Alice Linehan will also be there, as well as Brad Schofield, who is our other conservative board member. Thank you very much, and God bless each and every one of you. Yes, sir. Outside, if you want to bring signs, please do. We are hoping to have a minimum of 100 people there against this Thursday night. I met with Representative Ned Krause this morning, and he was telling me, he said, if you have 100 people showing up, I can't imagine anybody voting in favor of this thing. So, but we do have 2 of the people that are the strongest ones voting all these liberal agendas that are going to be on the ballot next May, and they're going to go. Thank you.
Thank you, Jolynn. Y'all understand what she's talking about, right? You got the email. You know what a mess this is. I don't know that she really said, but it's in Keller ISD. They are looking at changing the discrimination rules for the gays and lesbians and trans, the bathroom issues and all that kind of stuff, giving special things. So it needs to be stopped before it spreads to all of Northeast Tarrant. So even if you don't go to Keller ISD, it's important that you show up at these meetings, okay? Okay, next we're going to hear from Aaron Harris. He's with Direct Action Texas, but he's got a word of encouragement for us.
Thank you, Julie. So everybody that's here, if you're part of Northeast Tarrant Tea Party, then you're aware of the local debt crisis we have in Texas. Kind of the 2 go hand in hand, right? Tea Party, we know about that. And so if you were paying attention, you saw last week we had a big, really win for the movement. It's a temporary one, but it's a big win. And many of you in this room are to credit for that. I see Faith in the back and others that were there. And I want to congratulate everybody. I want you guys to really clap for yourselves, because y'all did a good job. Everybody in this room. But I want to also encourage you in why we had this temporary victory. And here's why I mean temporary victory. For those of you that don't know what transpired, the county commissioners along with the hospital board have proposed an $809 million bond. And they tried to put it on the ballot without anybody having any input. And they have a common technique where they hold these town halls before anybody knows about it. And then when somebody speaks up, they send out a letter to the Republican Party and others saying, well, nobody showed up for our town hall. And they made the mistake of doing that this time. I say mistake, honest. They were actually honest about it. And were able to catch it in time. And Faith and others, and Julie, and our organization and others put out a rallying cry. And 2 days later, 150 people showed up to the town hall in Arlington. And then the following night, another 150 showed up to the one in Mansfield. And last week, we were able to deliver, with Empower Texans, delivered 650 plus petitions to the county commissioners at the county commissioner court last Tuesday. And because of, as they put it, recent developments in the bond, which is their lingo for community involvement, they postponed the bond till at least November of 2016. So congratulations to everybody that got involved. So my encouragement to everybody here is this: we can make a difference. And what made a difference on this one was that we got involved early. We got involved in the process before it got on the ballot. We got involved when the conversation was still maturing. It was still a new conversation. And that's when we can have the biggest impact. Unfortunately, it's also sometimes hard for us to get involved so early because the care meter still hasn't moved, right? So I want to take this opportunity to encourage you to get involved in these issues early, because this was a very real example of the difference we can make when we do so. So congratulations, everybody, and thank you for your time.
All right, great. Okay, I have two quick announcements. First of all, who was at Shark Tank? Oh, I love it. Okay, we're going to do another one, okay? It's going to be on October 10th. So we haven't sent out the invitation and announcement or anything yet, but you'll be seeing that soon. So go ahead and mark your calendars for October 10th. Start setting aside your money for donating to, I think we have another 12, 13 candidates, something like that coming. So we are going to change it up a little bit. We got a lot of feedback, positive and negative on the last one. A lot of positive, one or two negatives. We're going to shorten it per candidate this time, that sort of thing. So it'll be fantastic. You won't want to miss it. The other thing I want to announce is that, has anybody here ever heard of Jonathan Stickland? Well, he's got a money bomb on, is it Friday? Friday, yeah. Okay, so his goal is $50,000. It'll be tripled. So if you give $1, you're really giving $3. So make sure that you look for that on Facebook, or he sends out an email, it's on his website, whatever. Make sure you donate now, because if you wait until December or whenever all the campaigning really kicks in, it will be tripled. So, be smart with your money. That's what we're here for. So go ahead and donate to that. Do we have any candidates in the audience? If you are a candidate and would like to introduce yourself, why don't you come line up right here, and I'll give you a chance to do that. I know there's a bunch of you because I saw like suits walking in the door. So, yeah, come on up.
Thank you, Julie. Well, good evening, everybody. I'm Tim O'Hare, and I'm running for Tarrant County GOP Chairman. The county chair race is a race that frequently flies under the radar. And let me tell you, it is incredibly important. In Dallas County, they stopped paying attention. They stopped fighting, they stopped organizing, and you know what happened? Democrats took the county over. Tarrant County is way too important to our state and to our nation to let that happen. If you elect me to the county chair position, I will give everything I have to make sure not only Tarrant County stays red, but becomes even redder. And that is important. Two other things, and then I'll sit down. You will always know, if I'm the county chairman, that the Tea Party will have a voice in county politics and at the county headquarters. You can count on that. And finally, I'm hosting this week the Mark Davis Show, at least Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and we are going to talk about the killer ISD nonsense, and you can count on that. And that's going to be tomorrow or Wednesday. We will definitely do it before the actual vote. But we would love to have you call in and talk about it and show up to that. That's incredibly important. We got to stop that before exactly it goes around. So thank you.
I'm David Wiley, and I'm the other guy in the race for the Tarrant County Chairman. I've been a precinct chair all my life, since I was about 25, and as you can tell, that's over half. Working in Tarrant County with these issues such as what Aaron brought to your attention. One point I'd like to add to what Aaron had to say is that back in June, we had one of our county commissioners who was brave enough to buck the system and come out and gather together the activists. And Tim was in the meeting, I was in the meeting, and a few other folks were. He gave us the inside information, told us go out there and raise some ruckus. And pretty much that's what we did. We went out there, we got it going, you know, ground troops out there. It was slow to start, but once we got you guys involved and Julie sent out that email, it just exploded. And I thank you so much for making things work the way that they're supposed to work. And if we keep our thumb on this, that's $809 million that your kids are not going to have to pay back. They're going to have that available for other things. That's the future. That's what we've got to watch out for. That's why we come to these meetings. And I would appreciate your vote so we can keep Tarrant strong. Thank you.
Good evening, I'm Patricia Baca-Bennett. I am running for the 360th Judicial District Court. That is a Tarrant County-wide seat. It is a family court. I have been licensed to practice law in Texas for 21 years. I am board certified by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization in Family Law. Only about 10% of attorneys in the state of Texas go through that process because it's an arduous process. You have to be recommended by your colleagues and judges and have to take special testing and extra education in order to stay at that level. I am a lifelong conservative. I have walked the blocks, knocked on the doors, and I am committed to keeping Tarrant County red, and I'm also committed to the rule of law. I'm committed to making sure that judges follow the law, they don't make up the law as they go along. I think that is very important, especially in a court that's dealing with families. There needs to be consistency, there needs to be a respect for the rule of law, and there needs to be a respect for the litigants. And I would like to ask for your support. And again, my name is Patricia Baca-Bennett, and I'm running for the 360th Judicial District Court in Tarrant County, Texas. Thank you.
Okay, how many people are from Arlington? Hi, Becker. My name is Kelly Cannon, and I've got a very, very healthy early start to my campaign, which is going to be in May, May of 2016. And something very miraculous happened just this last Tuesday in Arlington, equal to the JPS bond reconsideration, I'll call it. They were kicking around the idea of raising our sales tax by a quarter-cent to pay for something that wasn't even in existence yet, not even in real hardcore paper. A nebulous senior citizen, I called it a government-subsidized country club for seniors. Anyway, they reconsidered it, and they are not going to put that on our next ballot in November. And my opponent in District 1 was none too happy about that, because that was going to be his little pet project, which meant raising all of our sales tax to pay for a finite number of citizens to have their little playground. I love seniors, I technically am one, and I didn't relish that too well, so my opponent isn't happy, which obviously makes me happy, and my donations went up just a little bit as a result, because it was a really equally great night on last Tuesday for Arlington. Anyway, I hope to, if you know anybody on the northern part of Arlington, which is north of Division, That's District 1, and I'm running against Charlie Parker, and my name is Kelly Cannon, and if you'll remember, I was the one, along with Faith Bussey, who took away the red light cameras in Arlington. Thank you. And I couldn't draw a more clearer contrast in the fact that my opponent was its biggest cheerleader of the red light cameras. So help me spread the word for anyone in North Arlington. I've got a better plan. So thank you.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. It's my honor to get to introduce our guest speaker tonight. One of the things I've loved about these meetings is that we get to meet a lot of Texas heroes. And Wallace Hall is one of my heroes. I've been following his story now for at least 2 years or more. And when I spoke to him tonight, I realized it's been going on for about 4 years, 4.5 years. He's 4.5 years into his 6-year term, appointed to the University of Texas System Board of Regents. And I won't go through the whole biography, you read that, or you wouldn't be here tonight. He's quite a hero. I asked him, how did he stumble upon this issue? And so we'll learn part of that when he speaks to us tonight. So give him a warm welcome. He's from my hometown next door in Dallas. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me here this afternoon. Julie, thank you for the invitation. And I must admit, before I begin my prepared comments, I want to say there hasn't been a lot to be optimistic about over the last 4.5 years in dealing with the politics of Austin. But I will say that the reputation of this Tea Party group is fantastic. And the idea that all of you would come out here on a 105-degree August afternoon, evening, and participate is a testament to that. So thank you. Really appreciate it. In preparing for my comments today, I drew from many of my experiences as a UT Regent. As a result, I've chosen the following topics. First, a brief overview of what I thought I was going to be doing as a Regent, what I actually ended up doing, and then the attacks that ensued. Second, thoughts on who is to blame for the failures of public higher education, not only in Texas but nationally. And finally, additional thoughts on the political culture in Texas that has led to our problems and what you can do about it. In February of 2011, I was appointed as a member of the University of Texas System Board of Regents. We are a group of 9 unelected citizen volunteers appointed by the governor, reviewed by a state Senate nominating committee, and confirmed by a vote of the full Senate. We are responsible for leading our UT institutions. This includes setting goals for their futures and ensuring every policy and program is properly aligned to meet those goals. We are also fiduciaries, the ultimate authorities for the institutions with a sworn duty to uphold the laws of Texas and the Constitution. Being a regent is a significant responsibility that should be taken very serious by every one of us who has been selected to serve. To put it another way, it is not sufficient to treat the role of regent as an honorary post or as a reward for past or future political contributions. The position imposes a solemn duty and, if treated properly, demands a large commitment of time and effort and a deep sense of obligation to the people of Texas. Why should anyone care about the responsibilities of university regents? First, because of the enormous amount of sums of money under our authority, $15 billion annually in the case of the UT system. Second, because we have over 200,000 students in our universities, and the potential for these institutions to influence and mold our young people cannot be underestimated. Third, our institutions are pursuing cures and treatments for cancer and Alzheimer's and other terrible diseases, all while educating and training large numbers of our new doctors and nurses for our state. So it is critical that the funding under our direction is not wasted, that assets are properly deployed and utilized, and above all, that integrity in the operations of our institutions is assured. In short, it is critical that we manage a very tight ship so we fulfill our obligations to the people of Texas, the true owners and beneficiaries of these great institutions. It is for these reasons that I ask questions, lots and lots of questions, and pursue lines of inquiry that others have found very uncomfortable. The problem is, this approach has meant that my 4.5 years as a regent have been anything but smooth. My efforts to fulfill my obligations to you and the UT system have been met with opposition from powerful forces who want to maintain the status quo and place their special relationships, particularly with UT Austin, above the interest of taxpayers, faculty, and students. What vile acts did I commit to earn the contempt of these powerful politicians? Let me cite a few of my most egregious inquiries. I insisted on the consistent application of national accounting standards for county gifts to our flagship university. In this case, the UT Austin president knowingly and falsely inflated the value of gifts received by over $200 million. While my insistence led to corrections, no admission of impropriety or contrition followed, only outrage from the president and his close supporters. I followed up on demands to terminate a secret and inappropriate forgivable loan program run by the dean of UT Law School and President Powers. In this case, millions of dollars were being funneled secretly to certain faculty members, all in violation of policy and law. This included a $500,000 payment to the former dean of the law school. The program has since been abolished, and the law school is now in compliance with our policies and law. I sought proper compliance with the Texas Public Information Act. What does this mean? It means that our institutions should comply when public citizens ask for information about their institutions. Incredibly, 3 years after this effort has begun, the project remains a work in progress. I looked into procurement irregularities related to no-bid contracts and conflicts of interest. Over a year prior to the Health and Human Services contracting scandal was uncovered, we had already uncovered similar procurement problems, resulting in a system-wide review to improve our transparency and efficiency and reduce conflicts of interest. And finally, I also demanded more answers about admissions improprieties and influence peddling involving the former president of UT Austin. You may all know where this has taken us. Conducting a secretive backdoor admissions practice is fundamentally dishonest. To justify its existence by claiming everyone does it is cynical and indefensible. Should we buy the line that aberrations in admissions is a national condition and part of the fabric in our universities? Or should we insist that this kind of corruption not be tolerated in Texas? The most prominent attempt to stop me was in the form of a campaign by House Speaker Joe Strauss to impeach me. He was assisted by the former chair of the House Appropriations Committee, Jim Pitts, and Dan Branch, the former chair of Higher Ed, and more recently a failed candidate for Texas Attorney General. The so-called Transparency Committee on System Operations, aka the Ministry of Magic, failed to impeach me, of course, or to land any blow at all. They voted to censure me. Many on this committee have felt and will feel this group's true censure at the ballot box. Worse, when they failed to impeach me because their claims were absurd, the same elected officials who were supposed to help me look out for your interest attempted to convince a Travis County grand jury to indict me. Sound familiar? Since when should differences of opinion on matters of higher ed governance lead Speaker Strauss to drum up criminal charges against trustees? Here's my bottom line. Accountability in our public institutions demands rigorous oversight by board members. In universities, improving graduation rates, raising the quality of the educational experience, lowering cost, improving access, and reducing student debt loads are worthy goals and formidable. That means we must be able to identify and remove barriers that prevent our success. But there is more. If higher ed is to evolve, and if we are to ensure our institutions can compete successfully to educate our young people and conduct valued research for societal benefit, the boards at higher education institutions must be allowed to take risks. The previous UT Austin administration was able to construct a phalanx of defenders, including politicians, supporters, media reporters, and editors, and even a new Orwellian named Texas Coalition for Excellence in Higher Education. They engineered a no man's land for inquiry and challenge by the board. Common board duties like asking if tenured faculty were performing at expected levels and whether they were maintaining state mandated hours resulted in aggressive attacks designed to chill further inquiry. Board questions relating to appropriate campus size, student tuition fees, institutional efficiency, faculty productivity, and proper deployment of research funding resulted in malicious charges that the Regents asking were anti-intellectual and anti-research. Here's the problem. Forbes recently ranked UT Austin number 82 among higher education institutions in the nation. For much of the past 10 years, we have languished, unable to challenge our status quo because some relationships between politicians and our institutional leaders have led to an inability of our board to effectively